Hi everyone, my name is Chris.
And this is Milton with the Sports Truth.
The truth will set you free.
Today we are talking about the 2021 draft. I remember telling my close friends in the last couple days or week that today either I would be filled with piss and vinegar or I would be elated with ecstasy, depending on who the Niners chose at 3. That would determine how I felt and how I would go about this draft. So we'll start off with the number 1 pick. You have the Jaguars. The obvious here was Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer is building something special in Jacksonville. Put him on the Matt Rule of the Panthers' 3-year plans. Who knows? Maybe even 2 years. Look at what Brian Flores did in 2 years. Competitive, had some upset victories early on, and was one game away from going to the playoffs. Later on, Urban Meyer does a brilliant move. There's some people that think that they might have missed on this pick. I don't think so. Later on, at pick 25, they pick up Travis Etienne, the running back with Trevor Lawrence. So basically, Urban Meyer has Pro Bowls, Pro Bowlers at quarterback and at running back. He also, through free agency, picked up Marvin Jones Jr., which is a deep threat. The Jags, they still got a long ways to go, but these are not your dad's Jags, who had lost, I believe, in 10 of the last 11 years, had double-digit losses. They might still have double-digit losses, but there is going to be a vast improvement. Within the AFC South, eventually the Titans' engine is going to run out. That's Derrick Henry. The life of a running back is not that long. So they'll probably be competing with the Colts because the Texans are a dumpster fire. Following the Jags at number 2 are the Jets. Robert Saleh, he's innovative in his approach to defense, and he is a leader of men. Zach Wilson, even though he didn't have the biggest of competition at BYU, playing a bunch of cupcakes, he's still super talented. The Jets later on end up jumping back into the first round and at number 14 and grab Elijah Vera Tucker, who I believe was the best guard in the draft. So if you have to start with building your offensive line. That's what Robert Saleh is doing right now. I believe they have Mecca. What do you know? Remember his name? Mecca Burton.
I think it's something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Left tackle. So they got a ways to go, but there's going to be a lot of improvement with the Jets versus how it's been the last several years, especially under Adam Gase. Now we come to the number 3 pick, which has haunted me for weeks ever since the sports media said that Mac Jones was going to be our quarterback. Countless nightmares, countless waking up in the mornings thinking we traded up into the number 3 pick, gave away future first round picks only to choose Mac Jones, who we could have had at number 12. Better heads prevailed. Someone must have whispered into Shanahan's ears. Maybe it was Lynch. Maybe it was other people in the 49ers brass. Maybe it was 49er fans just saying, like, Shanahan, it was bad enough that you lost us the Super Bowl. Don't set us back years. Let us be relevant. So I was ecstatic when they chose Trey Lance originally. I wanted Deshaun Watson, but he's got his issues and would be a lot for that to happen. They are still going to keep Garoppolo. I don't have a problem with that. I'm hoping what happens is an Alex Smith / Kaepernick situation where Garoppolo starts off, he gets injured, he has missed 33 games in 4 years. Trey Lance comes in, saves the day, he's running all over the field like Kaepernick used to, throwing long bombs to Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels. The Niners, they are in the thick of it, in the mix. I still think that the Bucks are the team to beat. But you know what? I wanted to put the 49ers behind the Bucks and the Packers in the NFC. But after what came out yesterday with the Packers, oh, Packer fans, I feel bad for you. I mean, Aaron Rodgers says he doesn't want to play for you guys anymore, and I don't blame him. I mean, the GM, the owners of the Packers, they need to pay him his big contract. You're talking about one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I believe the 49ers reached out to him and were willing to trade their third pick, future first round picks if they had any left, along with some 49er players, which I would have had no problem with. But yeah, I'll take Trey Lance. Up to number 4, the Falcons, which in the past they would have probably blown this pick. Maybe it's the new coach Arthur Smith. Maybe it's just that it's a top 5 pick, and how hard is it to mess it up? They chose the best player overall in the draft, which is Kyle Pitts. He is a hybrid tight end, wide receiver. Matt Ryan, if I'm Matt Ryan, I'm pretty excited. You're bringing in the best offensive threat in college. You have Julio Jones, which is easily a top 10 receiver, top 5 maybe even. He's not the best, which I always have problems with when people want to give Julio Jones the best wide receiver pick in the league. You have Calvin Ridley. Their defense is still a mess, so they're going to throw a whole bunch of points up. They're going to get that occasional upset. So even though we don't bet on this show, bettors beware of the Falcons. Do not take your chances with them. Just sit back and enjoy the Kyle Pitts show. At number 5, you have the Bengals, another sort of perennial loser all these years. They made the right choice with Jamarcus Chase, the wide receiver out of LSU. He was Joe Burrow's Jerry Rice in college in 2019 when they won the national championship, 2019, 2020. Just the chemistry that they have. I love the weapons that they have in Cincinnati, especially to add the top wide receiver in the draft. I know a lot of Bengals fans probably wanted some offensive line help, but it's hard to pass on an elite weapon like that when the draft has a lot of depth when it comes to offensive linemen. At number 6, the Dolphins traded back from number 3 with the Niners to the number 6, and they picked up Jalen Waddle. For you guys who don't know who Jalen Waddle is, for the first 5 weeks of the college football season, he was the number 1 wide receiver in all of college football. It's hard to believe that he was the number 1 when you had the Heisman winning trophy, Devontae Smith, on there. But he's got speed to kill. Jalen Waddle. And it's an Alabama connection. You have the Tua to Jalen Waddle, Alabama thing going. I thought they would go for Devontae Smith, but Jalen Waddle is the real deal as well. The Lions at number 7. You would think that they would have wanted to trade or to have Justin Fields drop right to them. You know, I'm not big on Goff, especially when he's goofy Goff. But Dan Campbell chose the best tackle in the draft, Penei Sewell. So it sort of makes sense. You know, you're going to protect Goff, and I don't know, because you don't have the wide receivers. Marvin Jones is gone, and was it Holiday?
Yeah.
Holiday. Holiday. I always get those guys confused.
Yeah,
but
too.
And then where did he go? He went to I forget where he went to. But okay. At number 8, you have the Panthers. This is another spot where Justin Fields could have dropped to Matt Rule. I don't know what Matt Rule is thinking that he could resuscitate Sam Darnold's career, a guy who's seen ghosts before. But this is the same guy who in last year's draft, used every single one of his draft picks on defense. He actually hit on a couple of them. And, you know, if you're going to add J.C. Horn, a shutdown corner, to this defense, he's going through somewhat of a transition period right here. You still have the Bucks in your division. The Saints are still probably going to be pretty good. So why not build an elite defense and figure out your quarterback situation, if it is Sam Darnold or not, or bring in another free agent, or maybe you're bad enough to go through all this again and be at the top of the draft. At number 9, the Broncos probably would have been a good fit for Justin Fields too, but being Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator, he chose a shutdown corner, probably one of the best ones in the draft, and Patrick Surtain Jr. Goes to show you how old I am. I remember watching his dad play. The Broncos are going to be who they've been the last few years. Their defense is their bread and butter, and their offense is sort of a mess. So they're tough to beat at home, and their defense is definitely a top-tier defense. So they have one thing but not the other. They're one of those teams. At number 10, I forget who I was talking to in the draft. It might have been you, Chris, wondering, well, we're at the number 10 pick, and the Heisman Trophy winner, which goes to college's football's best player, Devontae Smith, which as a wide receiver, which is tough. Wide receivers, I think one other time, have gotten the Heisman Trophy. So he fell to a good place with the Eagles. I'm a believer in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. He's got a great weapon. They got a long ways to go. They're sort of a team on the rebuild, but it's a good place to start. Our first trade of the draft is the Giants traded to the Bears, who finally had enough common sense to take Justin Fields.
Congratulations, Bears fans.
Congratulations, Bears fan. This might be the best move in the draft. One thing that was interesting that Chris brought up to me, because I was pretty excited for Justin Fields being the quarterback for the Bears, but one thing that was brought up to me is that Nagy has to change his offensive scheme to fit Justin Fields.
Yep.
So
shout out to my boy who told me that.
Yeah. Oh, is that who told you
Yep.
that? Yeah, that's
Shout
some
out
inside
to you.
information right there.
Yep.
But geez, I mean, when is the last time that the Bears have had a good quarterback? You're talking about
Rex Grossman.
Jay Cutler, Mitch Trubisky, and then finally you get Justin Fields. So, you know, it all starts, you know me, with the quarterback and the coach, the nucleus of a team. Matt Nagy has shown some offensive acumen.
But Andy Dalton, though.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Andy Dalton is the starter for now, which is good. You know, you don't want to rush in Justin Fields, but in due time, he will be the starter. So Bears fans have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, they have a future.
Yeah, I mean, when you get Andy Dalton, you're thinking like, oh, man, what did I do to deserve coal in my stocking, you know? But now you got Justin Fields, so the future looks bright. I have the Bears as a solid number 2 in the NFC North. They have made the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years, so it would not surprise me for the Bears to get into the playoffs. How about you? What do you think on?
I think the Bears can make the playoffs.
Yeah, because the Lions are the Lions. They're at the bottom, not only of their division, of the NFL, and the Vikings are just always underachieving. So we get to the Cowboys. All week it was they were going to trade up and get Kyle Pitts so that Dak Prescott would have a new toy. Well, the interesting part of that is that Dak Prescott, I'm not sure if it's Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is that you guys millennials do
boomer.
For information on the internet. They ended up making the right choice and took the best linebacker in the draft, Micah Parsons. to team up with some of their other talented linebackers. They did not need anything on offense. They have Dak, they have Zeke Elliott, they have Amari Cooper, they have CeeDee Lamb, and they have Galladay or Holiday. Why do I always get those confused?
It's okay.
Okay, one of those guys.
It's fine.
Okay. So everything's rolling here from picks 1 through 12. I mean, I pretty much give everybody an A minus, B plus on these picks. It's hard for me to give any of the first 12 a bad grade.
Oh no.
And then you have the Chargers at number 13. The fact that they were number 13, like unlucky 13. Okay, is this where the draft unravels and the Chargers pick somebody we've never heard of? No. You know why? Because they have a legitimate coach in Brandon Staley. And he's going to protect his best asset, which is Justin Herbert, with one of the best offensive tackles in the draft, Rashawn Slater.
Left tackle.
Left tackle.
For sure.
Good job, Chargers, of picking somebody that we've heard of, that we know. Protect your quarterback. You have the weapons. Give Brandon Staley some time to work with what he has on defense, especially if Derwin James can last the whole season, and Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa. I almost said Nick Bosa, his brother.
It's okay.
So, yeah, Charger fans, which, long-suffering Charger fans, be happy that Rashawn Slater was chosen at number 13, and I think that there's better picks coming up in the later rounds. So heads up to Telesco and Brandon Staley. I'm telling you, if you get a coach that knows what he's doing, he changes what am I looking for here?
The
dynamics of the organization.
Sorry, Lions fans, you got that that lineman to run the ball because you got Anthony Lynn, who likes to run the ball.
Oh, that's right.
That's why they got the
oh
tackle
my
to
God,
run.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, Goff.
I forgot that Anthony Lynn was their offensive coordinator.
Sorry, Goff. You're not going to be throwing anytime soon. It's going to go to whoever your running back is.
To go back to the Lions, they're a
that's why they
mess. I mean,
drafted
you have
the
Dan
lineman.
Campbell, who last week I said he was Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Saying
And now
that
Anthony
his
Lynn.
team was going to bite the kneecaps off of other opponents. You have Goff back there. You have no offensive weapons.
Who's the running back?
I don't even.
For the Lions, because he's going to be running now a lot.
Is it DeAndre Swift?
I don't know, but they're going to be running a lot because Anthony Lynn.
Yeah,
Chargers
that's true. Forget it. Sorry, Lions fans, if you're out there, like I know Jalen Rose, he's a huge Lions fan. He's always roaring, going, "Rah!" Well, it's a lot of meows.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. Maybe one day, if there's hope for the Chargers and the Bengals and the Falcons, all the sort of dregs of the NFL, then maybe Lions someday. But you know what? I just don't buy into the Lions ownership, and it just sort of filters on down from the GM to the coach. It's a mess. All right, let me get back on track here. At number 14, the Jets jump back into the draft. I love Robert Saleh. He was an amazing defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Yeah.
And he jumps up and grabs the best guard in the draft. You need to protect your hot shot weapon in Zach Wilson. They are not going to the playoffs, but do not bet against the Jets. Last year, I would have said take any team that's going up against the Jets, and you probably would have won money for the first 10 weeks.
Theoretically.
But then you ran up against the Rams, which were a 17-point favorite, and lost. So, I'm just saying, just be careful when you're betting against these. Theoretically, of course, yeah, because we don't bet on this show.
No, we don't.
Yeah, the Jets and the Jags, I mean, they were easy marks, but they are not anymore, okay? They are tired of getting bullying, and they will punch the bully in the face. They won't bite their kneecaps off. That's the Lions. Yeah. At number 15, we have the Patriots taking Mac Jones.
The Emperor has struck once again.
Oh.
He's got his perfect weapon. It fits his system.
No, he is. And you know what? For all the crap that I gave Mac Jones, I didn't want him on the Niners. He is an accurate passer, a quick passer. He's sort of limited on being a dual threat quarterback, but I think he landed in the right place. He's going from Nick Saban to Belichick,
Which they're friends, by the way.
which they're friends.
Yeah.
It's all part of the Belichick
coaching tree.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, I mean, Mac Jones is definitely an upgrade over Cam Newton. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, the Patriots spent a lot of money and through free agency on backup tight ends and wide receivers, and they chose Mac Jones. What are they going to do with this whole mess? I don't know. Float at 500, just below it, just above it. 7-9, 9-7, whatever their final record's going to be, it doesn't matter. The Patriots are a dying dynasty. Okay, you have the Bills are the best in the AFC East. They were a running back away from going to the Super Bowl last year. The Dolphins are one play away with a talented young quarterback in Tua and just an amazing coach in Brian Flores from what I've seen in his 2 years here, you know. And even the Jets are on the rise, so eventually the Patriots are just going to sink to the bottom. I mean, unless I see something else. I mean, what's your take on the Patriots?
I think they're in rebuild mode, and Belichick, you know, he's the emperor for a reason. He'll find ways to win.
Okay.
Don't theoretically bet against him because you know what
Right.
happens.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. I mean, don't bet against Belichick. Don't bet for Cam Newton. But I don't know. I mean, if Mac Jones is eventually the starter, I got to see what type of damage the Patriots can do. I mean, I don't even think they're going to be able to get out of their own way in their division with the strong teams of the Bills and Dolphins and the Jets, a team on the rise. So we'll see. I mean, they've had it too good for too long. So you know what? F the Patriots. I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
Okay, and number 16 was...
Oh, no.
Oh, I know. It's your Cardinals, right?
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
I was thinking, okay, they could take a top tackle. They could take a wide receiver like Kadarius Toney, or any type of weapon or
Anything.
protection on the Cardinals would have been good. You're dealing with a 49ers team that... The Rams with Matthew Stafford, supposedly they're like the best team in the NFC West, according to a lot of sports reporters. I don't see it. But in Seattle, who's always going to be a scary team that always sneak into the playoffs, who always come from behind because Russell Wilson carries this team on his back. This year should be a little bit different for the Seahawks in that they're going to give them some more... Well, they got him a new offensive coordinator for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And he's not going to have to do everything by himself. That's why he wanted out of Seattle. I don't think he was ever serious. He was just trying to push the Seahawks to give him the protection, give him the weapons, give him the play caller to accentuate Russell Wilson's talent.
And who did the Cardinals select? Select?
Okay, they chose Xavion Collins. I guess he's a beast of a linebacker. Last year they took Isaiah Simmons. So I guess...
And who do they take? Xavion Collins.
I mean, I guess I understand it, especially if you're going to be running against that 49ers offense, which is mainly going to be running the ball. Their quick wide receivers going over the middle. So if you do need a strength in the NFC West, it is in the middle to slow down the Rams, slow down the Seahawks, slow down the 49ers. But time will only tell on the Cardinals.
I have a lot to say about
Okay, go
Xavier
ahead.
Collins.
I'm going to give you the floor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Kingsbury, what were you thinking? Please, you could have gone offensive lineman.
Yes.
You could have protected Murray better.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gotten another offensive weapon, maybe another wide receiver.
Absolutely.
I don't care that you got those free agents. They're good free agent picks, but you could have always shored up a little bit more because AJ Green as your second wide receiver.
Yeah,
he
agent veteran.
Yeah, if he performs as good as he did in his Pro Bowl years, sure. But if he doesn't, now you have Zaven Collins, and you know, to be fair, you're running a 3-4 there, Kingsbury, and you got Chandler Jones, Jordan Hicks, Zaya Simmons, Zaven Collins. I guess it sounds good, but at the end of the day, if Murray's getting sacked constantly by Nick Bosa and Aaron Donald, and who's the Seahawks defensive end? I can forget his name. The one who gets all the sacks?
I don't
Or the
know.
linebacker. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner
Yeah.
over and over. It's not going to matter if we stop Kittle a couple times a game.
Well, you
or-
know where I stand on Cliff Kingsbury. I
Listen.
think he sort of holds them back. I sort of put him in the Zach Taylor, who's the young offensive coach for the Bengals. They haven't done anything bad, but they haven't really done anything like good. The judgment is still out on them.
Yeah, so my draft grade for whoever drafted Zaven Collins is a C minus.
Ooh, C minus. Oh, I was thinking maybe a C plus.
No, C minus.
Okay.
Unless Zaven Collins gets 100 tackles this rookie season, 3 picks and 5 sacks, I'm calling it a really bad pick because you could have picked someone else that we really needed. But what'd you do? Zaven Collins. And
Well, what
unless
happens-
he shuts someone down, I'm
Well, what happens if
very
Xavier
upset.
Collins is like blowing up the 49ers offensive line and, you know,
sacking
and stops for
Trey Lance.
losses,
Yeah,
sacks
Trey
stopping
Lance.
Moster and all that, then maybe you'll be singing a different tune. But for now,
Yeah, I'll eat my own words, but until he proves me wrong, I'm shaking my head.
I
at
would
this
sort of
pick.
be bummed out.
C minus.
I would sort of be bummed out with that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it is time for 5 random questions
Oh,
before
boy.
we return to the. Okay, so you ready? So far you've been answering them pretty good, and then
Yeah, I'm
of
ready.
course I always let you know what the right answer.
Oh yeah,
are.
in your opinion, yeah, we all know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. Make me a perfect sandwich. Try to be as specific as you can.
A perfect sandwich.
Yeah,
okay,
and this is
so-
for you, but I mean,
Oh, for,
shit, if
for
you're
myself?
making,
Oh,
if you're
for a sandwich for myself.
well, yeah, but if you're making yourself one, then make me one too. So I'm
What?
hoping, I'm hoping that I'm a foodie, so I'll try your perfect
so
sandwich.
we're gonna get toasted ciabatta bread because we gotta be fancy.
Ooh, okay, I like that. It's a good start. Ciabatta
Yes.
bread. You're so far. I'm with you.
And then I hope you like olive oil. I hope you
Yeah,
like olive
I
oil.
do. A little drizzle
We're
of
gonna
olive
drizzle
oil.
olive oil in it,
Absolutely.
uh-huh.
Okay, so far.
Then we're gonna start with some nice romaine lettuce, not the crappy one.
Not
that are
the
spiky.
iceberg, yeah.
No, romaine. So it's nice and nice
Okay,
and
yeah,
soft, nice
I
and
agree.
smooth, put it on
Romaine
there.
over the iceberg.
Get a couple tomato slices. You know, you got to have that nice fresh crunch in there. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And then next, we're gonna have cheese, and it depends what kind of cheese you like. Though.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so
It's either gonna be cheddar or Swiss or Munster. Depends upon.
okay, yeah,
what you want
cheddar
more.
sounds good
We'll
on,
put
on a
cheddar in there.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for the next, we're gonna do the meat.
What's
So-
your protein?
The problem here with the meat, though, is
Uh-huh.
I don't know your preferences,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go off the safe ones.
Okay.
It's gonna be either a very fancy turkey or
Okay.
a very fancy honey roasted ham.
Oh, I like that.
Honey roasted ham slices
whether
in
it's
there.
the
Yeah.
ham or the turkey, it's
Yep.
got to have like some brown sugar or some honey or
Yeah.
some type of glaze
And
to
put it all together,
Okay.
and it's.
And do you have? Did you say mayo or would you say?
I was gonna leave the mayo and mustard off because I don't know if you like mayo.
Oh,
and
well,
mustard.
yeah, okay,
For me,
so-
I like mayo, so I put mayo.
Okay,
on it.
yeah. You know what? For just about anything, I like a sauce or a condiment on it. So
Yeah, I was gonna put mayo,
mayo. Okay, all right.
and that's my perfect sandwich.
Sounds pretty good. So yeah,
Exactly.
you're definitely making me one too.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
you said toasted ciabatta?
Yeah, it was already toasted, so
Okay,
it's nice
cool,
and warm.
cool. All right,
Mhm. It'll
pretty
smell
good, pretty good. I
amazing.
thought I might throw you off because.
Oh no, you're talking to a person who eats all the time.
Okay,
Like,
all
who do you
right,
think
all
you
right,
are?
cool.
Who do you think you are?
I approve.
Foodie?
I approve of that. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Second question. What 3 things would you take with you to your private island?
Ooh, my private island.
Yeah.
A solar panel, like generator, so I have electricity.
Okay, that makes sense.
A TV, so I can watch, and a gaming console that I can play my games and watch Blu-ray on. That's all I need.
Okay, so basically.
Good. Basically, my room. That's
Okay.
it. Done.
So take your room and then plant it
On an island that I never have to deal with anyone again. Perfect. I just game and play
Okay. All
and
right.
enjoy myself.
All right. That's how for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Rest of my life. Done.
Okay. This one sort of relates to question number 1,
Okay.
which is funny. What's your favorite cheese and what do you like it on?
American cheddar.
American cheddar? Okay.
And I like it on hamburgers, especially cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah,
There's
definitely.
nothing better than
I
American
agree.
cheeseburger, just like that. Yeah,
Okay, and there's so many different cheeses, so like, yeah,
but that's the one that comes to
that's
my
the
mind
one.
when I
Okay,
think of cheese. It's that nice orangey yellow color, sharp cheddar.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. All right, this one should be fun for you. Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero, comic book, like American, Western, or Eastern as well.
Just
Anyone?
superhero. I mean,
Ooh, my favorite superhero. That's really hard because there's a lot of anime now that are superheroes. Like
somehow
you know, the one that you haven't watched.
Somehow I knew you were gonna throw anime
Yeah,
in
the
here.
one you didn't watch, the one you're like, oh, I don't know what that is, and the one that your
I think
friends...
that the animes are like sort of super warriors, but I'm not sure.
What are
if
you
I
talking
see,
about?
I'm
My
not-
Hero Academia is literally an
Come on.
homage to Western
Okay.
comics.
I
Are you serious?
Okay, let's keep it to Western superheroes and not Eastern superheroes, okay?
Western,
Yes.
my favorite one.
Yeah.
Oh man, probably Iron Man.
Iron Man? Okay,
Everything
cool.
he did for the MCU and everything he,
Yes,
you know,
that's a good
such
one.
a good impact.
Yeah, definitely. Especially having Robert Downey Jr., one of the coolest
That was a good pick.
mofos that I know.
Don't get us demonetized now. Be careful.
No, I'm trying to. Okay. So you're going with okay. The last thing is name something in your childhood that you would be embarrassed happening to you as an adult.
Basically blurting out like the wrong answer to a question. Like when during the class, my teacher asked a question and I answered it completely wrong, and everyone laughed at me. I would not want that to happen to me as an adult. That would be...
That's totally fair.
Very
There's so many
embarrassing.
things that you could go with that. I mean,
That's
all
the
the
big one.
embarrassing things. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, I'm just going to go quickly over these. For a perfect sandwich, I did like yours. I'm going to steal the ciabatta because...
How dare you?
Well,
It's your own original idea.
I'm trying to think. It's okay. You know what? I'm going to go with my own.
Yeah, go with
okay?
your own. Let's hear it.
It's similar, and I'm going to go with some focaccia.
Focaccia? Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
focaccia
fancy enough
bread.
for you.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go for the sauce. I'm going to go with like a creamy sriracha type mayo. I need some spice to
Of course
it.
you would.
Yeah. I'm going to go chicken for my protein. And then I'm going to dress it up with some nice thick bacon.
Man, you really know how to make the vegans upset at you. Good job.
Oh, yeah. I'm also going to some nice slices of avocado with a little bit of salt on it. You got to salt your avocado. And for the cheese, for something like that, probably like a light cheese, like a Swiss cheese or something white.
Yeah,
on the cheese.
a white cheese. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's about right.
yeah. So and then some lettuce. I'm not big on tomatoes.
Tomatoes are good for you.
I know. You know, I'm sort of weird on tomatoes. Like I like them chopped up, but I don't like them whole. It's
Or sliced, yeah.
Sliced. It's a texture issue. It's. I mean,
about
eventually I'll get over it.
Yeah,
but,
it'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's see. 3 things that I would take to my island.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, what would you take to your private island? Come on, Milton. Let's hear it.
Oh, I would take. God, I don't know. Jeez.
Really?
Okay, so
You'd you know, something NFL, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
football stuff.
Yeah, football stuff. Some magazines or some football books. All different kinds of desserts.
The 1989 49ers season on VHS because you're old.
Oh, yeah. And then probably a whole collection of movies because
of course.
yeah, I mean that's my life basically. The trinity of my life is sports, movies, and food.
How are you gonna watch it with no electricity or TV?
I'll come over to
It's too
your
late.
island,
Yeah,
your
no,
neighboring
no,
island.
It's private. No, it's private. No, sorry. Just look at them. Enjoy.
Okay. I'll take my rowboat and come over there. Hope
Yeah, of
that won't
course you
get
will.
washed out to sea.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my favorite cheese, I probably have to go with like a nice goat cheese with some cranberry. I like
So Tom Brady cheese, good choice.
Yeah,
The goat
yeah,
cheese,
you
yeah.
can't. You're right. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes. Anything that Tom Brady does, I will do too.
Of course.
My favorite superhero, I'm probably gonna go Wolverine.
Well, that's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean he's
Bub.
he's angry. messes people up. He's got blades.
I mean, he's huge Jackman.
Yeah. So I mean,
love
when
that
I think
movie.
of X-Men, I think of him as the heart and soul of it all.
Yeah. That's what makes Logan such a sad movie.
And then name something in your childhood that would be embarrassing happening to you in
let's hear.
adulthood. Probably just, I mean, when you're a kid, you have accidents in your pants.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Don't do that now.
Yeah, that type of stuff. So anything like that would be totally embarrassing, which I guess could happen to you if you like drink too much or have a crazy night.
Well,
But yeah,
don't do that.
Not so cute when you're an adult doing children's messes.
Oopsies.
Oopsies, exactly. Definitely oopsies. All right, we're gonna get back to the draft now that we've gone over our 5 questions. The first one is the Raiders. The Raiders have this tendency to pick players that they probably could have picked later on in the draft. They ended up taking offensive tackle Alex Leatherwood, which from my understanding was the 9th or 10th offensive tackle. He's from Alabama, so why you would take the 9th or 10th?
For my boy, the running back. Come on.
Right, but I'm just saying, if you're going
Josh
offensive
Jacobs.
tackle, why not choose somebody, in the top tier? You're choosing someone that you could probably get in the 2nd or 3rd round. So that's my only issue with it. But they did need to address the offensive line. I believe 3/5 of their offensive line left via free agency. They weren't able to pay them, so they're going through the draft, get the cheap rookies. So that's a step in the right direction. Just, I don't know, Raider fans. I mean, your defense is a mess. Your offensive line isn't complete. Is Derek Carr the answers? There is a lot more questions than answers for Raider fans. You are in Vegas, and I just don't know. Raiders
don't theoretically bet.
Yeah, Raiders are a mystery team to me for sure. With their 2nd pick in the 1st round, the Dolphins took Jalen Phillips. A nice edge rusher, especially if you're playing against Josh Allen and that offense that they have, put some pressure on him. I heard he had some injury issues, but, edge rushers are so valued in the NFL, so we'll see where it goes. Then you have the Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins.
No, that's censored. No, we have
that's
to beep
censored.
that out.
Oh,
Beep,
okay.
beep.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
The Washington football team.
The Washington football team. Oh, God. I hope they really change that because, I don't know, Washington football team. I mean, you don't even have a team nickname, and
when I heard the commissioner say the Washington football team selects, I cringed a bit because just hearing that is so weird.
They got a linebacker called Jamin Davis. I've never heard of him. I watch a lot of college football. I mean, it sort of makes sense because you have Ron Rivera. He's the defensive coordinator, so he wants to build his defense. And they got a great defense, especially on that front line.
Oh, yeah.
So if they're trying to shore up that front 7, kudos to them because, their offense is sort of limited. I know they got Fitzmagic, but I don't think he's consistently going to be able to give them direction.
You never know.
And wins. He's going to get his
magic. He's going to get his wins that you never see coming.
And that's what magic is that occasionally they're going to upset people. Occasionally they're going to have these big wins. And they play in the NFC East. So I think all you really need is between 7, 8, 9 wins.
To be fair, though, I don't think Fitzmagic's ever had a defense as good as the Washington football team.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I'm just thinking back, really.
I would make them the slight favorite in the NFC East.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, no one from the NFC East is going anywhere. Which brings me up to my next NFC East team, the Giants. They dropped back. They picked up some draft capital and they took Kadarius Toney.
Which is what the Cardinals should have taken.
They should have. I'm very familiar with Kadarius Toney because he is a Gator. And if anyone knows Florida Gators, it is me. I'm a huge fan of them.
Let's hear about it.
He is a slot receiver that's a nightmare matchup. I mean, he's in the slot. He is in the backfield. He's in the trip set with the other wide receivers on wide receiver screens. Once this guy gets into open space, he is dangerous. But to sort of counter that, these Kadarius Tonys before in the league, like the Austin Davises and the Percy Harvins, they're sort of these slender, super quick wide receivers that for some reason or another, don't make it in the NFL. Maybe their body doesn't hold up because it is a rough.
What are you talking about? What was the other wide receiver just got the one who got drafted earlier? He was only 166 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Devontae
Smith.
He's 166 pounds. That's literally 30 pounds lighter than the average.
Yeah, no, he is. He is slender.
Yeah, he still won the Heisman.
No, he does. He's got excellent route running. I was impressed in the half that he played in the national championship before he got injured.
Mm-hmm. 3 touchdowns.
He did have 3 touchdowns, and that's freaking amazing. But he did get injured. So
you think it was the size? I don't think it was the size.
It could be, but the Giants, they got something going. They added Kadarius Toney to.
What's his name again? The wide receiver?
Yeah, it's either Holiday, one of those.
You always mess that up.
I always mess that
up.
And
then Saquon, if he's healthy.
And Saquon Barkley. Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't been healthy the last several seasons. If he is healthy, and they have that new wide receiver, and you have Kadarius Toney, their offensive line is still a little bit of a mess. I like the direction Joe Judge is taking this team, but it all comes down to Daniel Jones. And I'm not completely sold on him, but
Eli was.
On who?
Eli Manning. He's the one who recommended.
Oh, right. Because essentially, said, sure. Daniel Jones was another sort of goofy
Manning family friend or something like
that. Yeah. I mean, Daniel Jones definitely fits in that mold. So, Giants, Redskins, Cowboys,
I guess. It again. Beep, beep.
Oh, yeah. They're all in contention for the NFC East. The only team that I wouldn't put in that mix are the Eagles.
Really? Even after they got all that nice stuff, air quote?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the whole NFC East is...
Eagles, fly.
At 21, the Colts choose Kwity Paye.
Kwity Paye? Yeah, quit paying him? Got it.
An edge rusher. If there's one thing that Frank Reich has done well with the Colts is build the trenches. They have one of the best offensive lines. They have a top 10 offensive and defensive units.
What about defensive line, though?
Yeah, I mean, well, you have Darius Leonard, who is a terror of a linebacker. Yeah, so you have some nice pieces there, and a good coach. If they could resurrect the career of Carson Wentz, then the Colts will win that division over the Titans.
You think the Jaguars can beat the Colts in an upset at least once?
I definitely think the Jags are capable. I mean, Jags, their only win last year was against the Colts, so they're gonna have some upset wins here and there.
Yeah,
but it's a 2-way race between the Colts and Titans, which brings me to my next team, the Titans.
Oh, perfect segue.
Yeah, they picked up shutdown cornerback Caleb Farley, which they really needed because the Titans their secondary.
Yeah, secondary
was a mess. I mean,
probably one of the worst.
Yeah. So I have no problem with them getting the shutdown corner to help them on the defensive.
It's only patching the leak though for now. They need to draft more.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Or a free agency.
That whole philosophy of run the ball with Derrick Henry, play defense, field position, is the formula that's going to work for the Titans until they play a high-octane team. And then that's where defensive/running teams are not able to up their game, is when they're just playing a powerhouse.
Yeah, that's what usually happens.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a legitimate elite defense. You have to have
a top 5 defense.
Just a top 5 and you have to have a top-end running back, which Derrick Henry fits that, along with some other ones. But you have to have everything go right for you to even have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. At number 23, you have the Vikings. They went with Christian Darrisaw, a left tackle. Not a sexy pick, but a good pick. Go ahead and protect Kirk Cousins.
Why is everyone seeing Kirk Cousins? I'm not being mean. I'm just asking a general question.
As far as what? What's your question you're asking?
What are these coaches and GMs seeing Kirk Cousins? He's not impressed me once.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
And they keep putting him on.
yeah.
They're enamored with him, I swear.
Yeah, I know. The funny thing is that Kyle Shanahan was enamored with Kirk Cousins, and before the Jimmy Garoppolo trade, they were going to wait till Kirk Cousins finished his year with the Vikings, whenever that was, and then they were going to have him come over via free agency to the 49ers. I'm glad they didn't because, oh man, Kirk Cousins got a very limited upside, doesn't do well in prime time games under pressure. Yeah, so great. Now they have a left tackle to protect Kirk Cousins so that he could hand the ball off to Dalvin Cook, which is what I would do. But you know what? They do have probably the best tandem of wide receivers in. Help me out here with their wide receivers. Justin Jefferson.
It's Justin Jefferson, I think, and Dalvin.
No, the other one is Adam Thielen.
Yeah, Thielen.
So they have some nice wide receivers.
They lost their tight end, though.
They did lose their tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
But, so the Vikings, they'll be middle of the pack.
It's okay. It's Cousins, though, so just overthrow them. It's fine.
Yeah, so good pick for them, but not a pick that's going to help them get to the playoffs or win many games. So sorry, Vikings fans out there in Minnesota.
The Bears are going to crush you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The Bears sort of own the Vikings, so, yeah. At number 24, the Steelers. They made the right pick. They needed some work on the offensive line, but what better way to prolong Ben Roethlisberger's career, which is coming to an end with Najee Harris, a running back
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, some people were saying Le'Veon Bell, some people were saying Franco Harris because they were the exact same size.
He can catch. I don't care what those analysts say.
He can definitely catch. I think when you had the Alabama Crimson Tide, you just had so many weapons that they didn't necessarily need Najee Harris to catch out of the backfield. But this is a great pick. Because now you can't concentrate on just dropping everybody back. Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster, and some of the other weapons that Ben Roethlisberger has.
You can just hand it off. Roethlisberger can just hand it off to him and run the ball like the good old Steelers days. In a certain game that brings up bad memories for Cardinals fans. They ran the ball against the Cardinals so bad in the Super Bowl. Anyways.
But yeah, the Steelers, their defense got stripped a little bit with Bud Dupree heading off to the Titans. But they do have a nice offense going, and their defense is still pretty good. So,
how did I forget his name? The Steelers have that one linebacker, the really, really good one. I keep forgetting his name.
Watt's brother, or no? Devin Bush?
I think so. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Now I have to look it up.
Okay, look it up. Okay, next is the Jags. Travis Etienne.
Yeah, it is his brother. Yeah, T.J. Watt.
Okay, T.J. Watt. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
He's really good.
They have
Steelers have a chance.
They do. They got Micah Fitzpatrick in the back. They got Pro Bowlers at every level. So if their defense keeps playing the way that they have, and Mike Tomlin is able to incorporate Najee Harris into the offense so that you're taking some pressure off of Ben Roethlisberger. Wow, a tough AFC
North.
Thank you. I wasn't sure.
Or they'll just get steamrolled by the Browns again.
Yeah,
they got exposed by the Browns so bad.
Yeah, you got the Browns, you got the Ravens, and you got the Steelers. The Bengals.
Bengals are on the rise because Burrow.
They're on the rise, but
they're
in the rearview mirror for now.
Yeah.
Next, we did mention the Browns.
Yeah.
They picked up Greg Newsome II, a shutdown corner. I like this pick because through free agency they got Joe Johnson III from the Rams and Troy Hill. That was one of their weaknesses last year. So that's actually one of their strengths this year, the secondary. So Kevin Stefanski is going to control the ball with his dual threat, his two-headed monster
In the backfield.
Nick
yeah.
Chubb and Kareem Hunt, which is easily the best backfield. I mean, you're talking about two Pro Bowlers, both back there, a confident Baker Mayfield.
So you're saying the Browns are now a powerhouse?
They are a
Remember
powerhouse.
when they used to be the laughing stock?
No, they've gone
NFL?
from the laughing stock. The dog pound, I mean, I have them ranked as high as number 4 in the power rankings.
I think they'll make the divisional, maybe make the championship.
Yeah, I could see them
Possibly.
doing that.
Bills versus Browns in the championship game. Would you watch it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So is this now the draft day Browns? Draft day movie Browns?
Oh, yeah. Who was
is
it?
this
Was
it?
it Kevin? Oh, no, was it, who was...
I don't remember, but this is literally what I'm thinking of, the draft
I want to
day.
say Kevin Costner. Was it Kevin?
Yeah, it's Kevin Costner. Yeah, as a
it's
coach.
like-
Is this the draft day Browns now? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, where he's pulling
Where
off trades and,
and they're
getting
going
amazing.
Super Bowl,
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's funny that movie was so lame a couple years ago.
But now
like,
it's actually like.
but now it's actually
relevant.
like relevant and prophetic, and so that's interesting that you brought that up.
Of course.
The Ravens had a couple draft picks. They didn't want to pay their offensive tackle, so they shipped him off to the Chiefs. They picked up wide receiver Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. If there's anything that the Ravens needed, especially Lamar Jackson, is another receiver to throw to.
You predicted it.
Yeah, they definitely needed somebody on the other side. So, I mean, if there's anyone that drafts well repeatedly in the draft the last few years, it's definitely John Harbaugh and the Ravens. So, good for them.
Well, yeah, Lamar Jackson. Good pick.
Yeah, good pick. At 28, we have the Saints. They have all types of
What?
issues.
Needs?
No, I mean they are in salary cap hell. I want to say they're
Really? They over?
72 million.
Over?
They let a whole bunch of people go. They let Janoris Jenkins go, a couple other defenders, some people off of their offense. So they went with a monster of a guy. He's a defensive end, Peyton Turner, 6'5", 270, to put on their line.
That's some meat right there.
Yeah. So you know what? That late in the draft, good choice. Because their offense has plenty of weapons, and they can make do with their quarterback combination of Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, it would have been a good choice at that pick too. Zaven Collins. Oh well. Anyway.
Let it go.
No.
Okay.
Salty Cardinals fan here, everyone.
We have the Packers at number 29. Going into the draft, you have Aaron Rodgers saying that he no longer wants to play for the team. They don't want to pay him. They don't want to get him the players. So
No
this
weapons.
is like the third year in a row. Like, get him a damn wide receiver.
They've snubbed him 3 times in a row.
They snubbed him. Okay, so last year, the richest wide receiver draft class, like maybe ever. There was like 8 wide receivers that are going to be.
Number 1 wide receivers.
Yeah,
eventually.
exactly.
And not a single
and
one.
they chose Jordan Love.
As an insult, just a
As-
big middle finger.
Yeah, and then so can you get Rodgers a weapon, not a running back, but a wide receiver?
What did they give him?
They gave him Eric Stokes, a cornerback. Do they need pass defense? Yes, but sort of another slap in Rodgers' face. So sorry, Packer fans.
Writing's on the wall.
You have one of the best quarterbacks in football. Who knows how long he's there with you?
To ever play. One of
Yeah.
the best, yeah.
I know. If Trey Lance doesn't work out, please, Rodgers, come to the 49ers. You are from the Bay Area. Or
He wanted to
closely.
be drafted by the Niners,
He did
right?
want, yeah,
and
but
they
they
passed on him.
snubbed him with Alex Smith. So, yeah. Sorry, Pack. I mean, going for the Packers. They have made the NFC Championship the last 2 years. They probably should have beat the Bucks.
Why is the coach still there? He's the one that lost him the game.
He did, but it's hard to argue with a 13-3 record the last 2 years.
Really? Is that what they did to Schottenheimer with the Chargers? 14-2,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they still fired him?
Yeah.
Should have fired McCarthy. I don't care. There's no excuses here, Milton. There's none. He should have been fired.
Oh,
he
boy.
kicks a field goal while he's down by 8 or 7.
Yeah, I mean,
He kicks a field goal. Should have been
that
fired.
will haunt Packer fans forever. I mean, it would haunt me as a 49er fan. If
Haunts
they
Rodgers
did it.
forever.
Yeah,
Should
exactly.
have put Rodgers out there.
If they did that, I would find Shanahan's house. I would toilet paper it. I would put crap in the bag and burn it.
We do not condone any of those things that you just said.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Those are the things I would. But since he never did dumb moves like that,
are you
and he
talking about?
chose
In the
and
Super Bowl.
Well, yes. Okay. And he did choose Trey Lance over Mac Jones. I don't know why he put us through that torture that he was getting.
Smoke screen. I called it. I told you.
You did
weeks
call
ago.
it. Maybe it was a smoke screen
To
but
other
man,
teams, yeah.
For 6 weeks, all 49er fans,
Mac
and I
Jones,
read
Jones.
all the Reddits and the Twitters and everything that all those fears that I had were the same fears other 49er fans had. But luckily, it ended with choosing Trey Lance. I'm in a great mood.
Of course you are. There's no piss and vinegar.
Yeah, no piss and vinegar. That's what you guys were gonna get today. Curmudgeon of a podcaster, but no, I'm elated. I'm blissful. I'm full.
Your voice totally tells that.
Yes, the
It's the same
dopamine
tone.
is rushing in.
It's the same tone to the whole.
All right, so let's finish off this draft. The Ravens, after choosing their wide receiver that Lamar Jackson needed, they chose Jason Owe, an edge rusher.
You mean the Chiefs?
No,
The Ravens chose
The
Jason
Ravens,
Owe.
yeah,
Okay.
because they traded out with
Really?
the Chiefs. They
Oh.
gave up Orlando. He's a left tackle, Pro Bowler.
Orlando Franklin.
No, I'm not.
That's just the one I think of.
Okay.
I know it's the wrong one.
It's Orlando something. I should know his name because he's a Pro Bowler.
Could have sworn the
He's
Chiefs drafted
he's
someone.
one of the best left tackles. So, but yeah, going back to the Ravens.
Yeah.
They always make great choices on defense, plugging people in. Last year they got Patrick McQueen, and they're always plugging in defensive players. So good job on the Ravens, especially that late in the draft to pick up some quality players. And last but not least,
Never least.
the Bucks. They could have gone any direction. They didn't need anybody.
They're loaded.
They
could have pulled a Madden where you just draft really bad people so you can release them later when you have a 99 overall team.
What I
You know
would
what I'm
have
talking
what
about.
I would have done if I was the Bucks, I would have taken like every draft pick that they have in this year's draft pick and offered it to some team for their best player, like whoever it is. I mean, think of the best player
You have nothing
you
need,
want
yeah.
on the Bucks. It could be the best. I don't know
Best
because
anything,
but it's hard because the Bucks already have the best everything. So they went with edge rusher Joe Tyrion, a linebacker, edge rusher. Because they don't have any defensive players, right? They don't have Levante David. They don't have
Jason
Devin
Pierre-Paul.
White,
JPP.
JPP, Veda.
No, they don't have anyone. Sue.
Sue.
It's fine.
Shaquille Barrett. Oh my God. Yeah.
No, they're totally not loaded. Those
Yeah.
are just no names. I don't know what I'm talking
the
about.
rich definitely got richer. Definitely the favorite to win it all. And I don't want to leave off the Chiefs. They didn't have a draft pick.
Yeah.
They did have the 31st, but they traded
Could have
it for
sworn
the
they had it.
Ravens.
Yeah.
And props to the Chiefs. They looked terrible in the Super Bowl because their whole offensive line was missing. What have they done since then? They got
Thuney.
They got Thuney, an excellent guard. They got Kyle Long, who they brought out of retirement, and they got one of the premier left tackles. They tried to go over Trent Williams, which I'm glad they didn't because that's the 49ers left tackle, which needed to stay in San Francisco.
Okay, Niner fan.
All right. Does it show?
Yeah, totally. I can
Okay.
see the red bleeding at you right now. Yeah, the red and
The
gold.
bread is definitely bleeding
Yes.
out of me today. I couldn't be happier. I thought it was going to be
Angry day
this
for
goes
you.
way back, but back in the day the 49ers chose a guy called Drunken Miller, which
Oh,
was this
no.
guy with this big arm. He amounted to nothing. It was all based on that he could throw the ball 80 yards, but had no accuracy whatsoever. Or it was going to be, we're going to choose Alex Smith because he's the top pick in the draft and not Aaron Rodgers,
could've
the
gone
Hall
Aaron
of Fame.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, so I was afraid of making that mistake. And who knows? I mean, it's not to say that Trey Lance is not a for sure thing, but he is definitely a lot more interesting and has a higher ceiling than
Mac Jones.
Than Mac Jones. Yeah. But yeah, the Chiefs, they're just like, their offensive line might be better than it was last year. So as far as the demise of the Chiefs or the hangovers,
I'll argue that though. Their right tackle, Mitchell Schwartz, is still one of the best.
yeah,
ever.
so they're still a tackle away from having a full protection on the offensive line. I think that they're able to take care of that. So be careful for the Chiefs. They will have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but I'll have more to say on the Chiefs once I see them a couple games into the season.
Do you have any afterthoughts afterward? Because I have a few things to say before we finish.
Okay.
Yeah. So for afterward, if you see Kyle Shanahan on this thumbnail, this picture, his red laser eyes, and Trey Lance smiling at my crying Cardinal because apparently Zaven Collins is supposed to stop the 49ers. You know, right? Single-handedly.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, exactly.
That's why he's at 16. Yeah, we could have gotten him at 38 maybe.
Well, you know what? He's a
46.
huge linebacker at that size, and I guess he's got some speed. But man, when Shanahan's doing his shifts and his jet
stuff,
jet sweeps, and all
Can he
this
actually
motion going
keep
on,
up? Yeah.
I mean, I never know where the ball's going, so I'm sure those defenders don't know either. So,
But I've only said negative things, but here's a positive thing. If he does do well, I will change my tune next podcast. Or whenever he's finally playing. I mean,
that might take a while.
That's okay. We have plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, the NFC West is definitely loaded. Even the worst team, which I think is the Rams, which everybody else thinks is the best team.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, wow.
I think the NFC West is the strongest division in NFL.
Absolutely.
You can argue with me if you want. I don't think
No.
there is
I mean, well, you know what? I'll give you a small argument in that I think the AFC North. Right? Is that correct?
AFC North,
yeah, with the Browns, the Ravens, and the Steelers.
You think the Bengals are better than the Rams, though? That's where the tiebreaker is.
No, I don't. And so I'm going to give the NFC West
barely though
the edge. Yeah.
But those two. Imagine those two having a playoff. AFC North versus NFC West.
Wow.
Imagine going 1-for-1 against each other.
I mean, for once, the Browns actually scare me.
Draft day Browns. That's what we're going to call them from now on. You heard it here first on the Sports Truth.
Yeah, next week we will be talking about the rest of the rounds, rounds 2 through 7, which teams were able to find some diamonds in the rough and those missing pieces,
and who the losers are,
the perpetual losers who are drafting
the wrong pick each time.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, with that, we leave you, and we will, if you have any questions or comments or topics, please put them in the comment section. We would love to be able to talk about those things that you guys are interested in listening to, because you guys are the listeners. Thank you for the few listeners that we have. You're devoted. We are devoted towards putting the truth out, and
all 9 of you,
we
love you.
All 9 subscribers. That's okay though. Have a good weekend and enjoy the rest of the draft.